Hello again, my subscribers. Today we are doing a review. Today's review is Crimes of the Future. The cast is Viggo Mortensen, Lea Seydoux, Kristen Stewart, and Scott Speedman. The director is David Cronenberg. Humans adapt to a synthetic environment with new transformations and mutations. With his partner, Caprice, Saul Tenzer, a celebrity performance artist, publicly showcases the metamorphosis of his organs in avant-garde performances. David Cronenberg, the man who single-handedly made a career out of the subgenre known as body horror, has been trying to get this movie made since the early 2000s. Originally entitled Painkillers, with Ralph Fiennes attached to star as Saul Tenzer, after Nicolas Cage dropped out, which would have been a completely different movie had he stayed on, the project wound up in development hell, and Cronenberg lost interest. But in February 2021, Cronenberg picked it back up, rewrote it, and cast frequent collaborator Viggo Mortensen into the role of Saul Tenzer. When this was announced, my first thought was that this was a remake of an early short film from 1970 of the same name. How could I not think that? It's not unheard of for filmmakers to make feature films from their early short films. But that wasn't the case here. The premises were different. But he was returning to body horror, so what could be better than that? Having read the script Painkillers, I thought it was quintessential Cronenberg, the kind of movie he would have made early in his career, around the same time he made The Brood, or Scanners. When the movie was playing in the film festival circuit, there were reports of walkouts due to surgery performed on the corpse of a young boy. That aroused my interest even more as a fan. Walkouts on a Cronenberg movie? When was the last time that happened? The only other instances I can think of were when The Fly was released. It was evident that Cronenberg still had that magic that made him David Cronenberg in the 1970s and the 1980s. Now, having seen it, I have some thoughts. If you're used to Cronenberg, you'll still be disturbed by the imagery he presents in his return to the body horror subgenre, his last outing being Existence in 1999, a decent movie that unfortunately retreads themes explored in the 1983 film Videodrome. Every body horror film he's made has tackled a theme that goes beyond just gross imagery. In his first film, Shivers, also titled They Came From Within, he tackled sexuality as a weapon and weakness. In Rabid, he gave us his version of the vampire, or zombie, as an allegory for human behavior and how shocking and disturbing it can be. In The Brood, he tackled emotional and psychological trauma and its effects on the human body. In Scanners, he discussed paranormal research, botched drug testing, the pharmaceutical industry, and the rise of private security and espionage outfits. In Videodrome, he went full steam ahead with our relationship with television and its impact on our anatomy. In The Fly, a remake of a movie from 1958, he offered us his vision of the mad scientist and the consequences of tampering with nature, despite his protestations against such a claim. In Existence, as stated before, he talked about the relationship between humans and video games. But unfortunately, this proved to be a retread of Videodrome, and was hurt severely by the release of The Matrix in the same year. In his first and so far only book, Consumed, he talked about the relationship between humans and photography while tapping into the medical side of human evolution. Now, he again tackles the relationship between the human body and technology, but from a different angle: the medical and environmental. It is no shock that Cronenberg is a strong proponent of new forms of technology. He has said so when discussing the film versus digital debate. From the movie's beginning to its end, he utilizes every tool available to unleash his long-awaited return on the audience, from practical effects to computer-generated imagery. But it can't stop there. He has to give us a whole world where these horrors can thrive. In the world where Cronenberg crafts his story, a possible climate crisis impacted the Earth, lowering the sea level, which explains the dozens of dry-docked, rusted ships. Without going into much detail, a deliberate decision by Cronenberg, this might explain why humans are evolving to create new organs and not feel physical pain like they used to. It's often theorized that climate change would affect human evolution inside and out. Like the ones in the characters of Brecker and his father Lang, our digestive systems are likely to evolve in ways we never anticipated. I'll link an article about that prediction in the description box below. We're along for the ride, and Cronenberg expects his audience to pay attention and allow the experience to flow through us without becoming too analytical. That can come later. Viggo Mortensen does a great job of being in constant pain and discomfort. He reminds me of Jeff Goldblum from Cronenberg's 1986 version of The Fly. That's a difficult job, to constantly act like you're in pain, imagining that your body is going through changes it shouldn't be going through. After a while, it can get tedious and taxing. Léa Seydoux, who made a big splash onto the screen in Blue is the Warmest Color, walks that tightrope of being both repelled and aroused by what goes on around her, the new registration, and the idea of surgery being the new sex. Kristen Stewart, who thankfully has broken out of that bondage called Twilight, gets under your skin as Timlin, an assistant at the new registration who pitches the idea of surgery being the new sex. In every scene she's in, she holds tears in her eyes. It's pretty unnerving. Like his past body horror films, Cronenberg offers no answers to why things occur. Instead, he gives us worlds where we must accept the reality in which these characters find themselves. For ardent Cronenberg fans, this will be a fantastic exercise in discourse. For others, it might be a frustrating storytelling decision made out of laziness. Wherever you land, I think most of us can comfortably say, "Welcome back to horror, David Cronenberg. You have been missed." Thank you very much for watching. Please like and favorite the video if you enjoyed it. Share it with everybody. Subscribe today. I upload every Saturday, or at least try to. Hit the notification bell if you want to get notified of new videos, like the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Tumblr pages. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay safe and healthy. And remember, it's chaos. Be kind.